No limits, no ceiling, no ground. No pressure gonna hold me down. No stopping till I break every rule. No limits to what I can do.
We'll be lining up to the grid in a few moments' time. I'm going to hand it over to you, Waistell, to do the race start and get season 7 of LCR underway.
Thank you very much, Colin. It is an honour to speak to you, being able to announce lights out for season 7 of LCR. Who will change the game for this season of Legacy Championship Racing? Certainly ASR Amazed is going to be one to watch with that fantastic pole lap as he slots into his grid position. LK just behind him with the Alfa Romeo, with Jolly and Williams of Trollex taking up the second row. It's going to be exciting as Leopard pulls into his grid slot and we get ready for lights out here in Bahrain. It's 5 red lights here, 3, 4, 5 red lights for LCR Season 7 in Bahrain. And we are away, and it's a solid getaway from ERS Amazed, who takes it off from LK. John in Drolex has had a poor start as he's taken by Jam Pancakes. But it's ER Amazed who files into first. Jolly and LK going side by side through turn 2. With Jolly who gets ahead of LK. Drolex in third, Jam Pancakes in fourth, Liam fifth, John sixth, Exploding Emerald seventh, Johnny in eighth, Drizzt remains 10th. Snipes and Sims losing positions off the start, but look at that, we're only 5 turns through lap 1 and LCR Leopard has himself up into 14th as he loses 13th to Drizzt's friend VSR Malta. But he's making time up quickly here.
Yeah, he's going around the outside. He's trying a really ambitious move into the right-hander there. Lots of position to Boris Letterbox who gained on Drizzt's Revenge, and he's going to try to get on the inside and might go wheel by wheel with the Season 5 winner of Bahrain of Boris Letterbox, and they're going side by side now. Down the back straight, who's going to come out on top? Leopard's got the inside line, surely it's going to get this move done, but Boris Letterbox is keeping around the outside. They touch wheels, almost sends Leopard round. That was drama, it's almost finest, but interestingly, I was looking at the start. Jam Pancakes had an incredible start from 6th on the grid. He almost jumped, at this point, LK in 3rd position, and Drax was able to get past him again. But yeah, going back to Leopard Day, he's had a great start in 13th, and he's now all over the back of Killer Snipes, and will definitely be one to watch. But it's been a very chaotic start so far, Waistell.
It's absolute. It's hectic through the field now, but ASR Amaze manages to keep his pole and keep it comfortably. He's just under a second ahead of Jolly, but it's Amazed from Jolly, LK, Drolex, and Jam Pancakes. There's a yellow in sector 1, and that's Johnny. Johnny's.
Yeah, Johnny.
He's lost it out of turn 2.
Yeah, sorry, Johnny was going side by side with Exploding Emeralds, and I think they might have touched there, and that sent the Ferrari off. And Boris Letterbox as well has been sent off in the Red Bull. So that's 2 cars really out of the contention for any sort of points in the space of 2 laps. And I think he's got no front wing, and that's really bad there for the really bad start there from a former winner on this Sakir circuit. But you see, Maze has already built a gap of a second to the Jolly behind. He's showing his pace already. He's got an amazing start. Jolly did very well to jump LK at the start, but the Renault driver is looking at a man in form, and I was talking about dark horses. He is definitely he's gone for a dark horse for the front runner in this race win.
Apologies for the brief cough there, but you're completely right, and sort of Boris, he was a force to be reckoned with in season 5 of Bahrain, but right now he's 17th, missing 2 end plate structures, and looks to be out of it unless, of course, we have a sort of safety car. But again, it's Amazed who's really setting the pace now, and he's pulling out comfortably. But we're on board with Umbi now, who's diving into the slipstream of Sims. He pulls to the right on those soft tyres, of course, and he's going to try and dive one down the move, turn 1. Can he get it stuck? Yes, he can. It's a solid move from the Racing Point to move up to 9th.
Yeah, he's on those soft tyres. He's making it count right now. Gone from 13th to 9th on the grid. Great drive from him so far. But the other soft driver of Drizzt's Revenge has gone the other way. So it's been a bit of a switcheroo between those two. But yeah. Exploding Emerald now a little. He's lagging a little bit on my screen, and he's gone off. Our commentator's cursor right now. He's gone off into the infield there, and has spun the car. Luckily, not hit. I don't know if he's got any wing damage. I'm just looking on board with him. I think he's lost a few end plates, so he has sustained a little bit of wing damage for the racing point. That's not what he wants at all to start this race, and that means he's going to have to go into the pits. He's lagging a little bit around, so I think also he might have to retire with that sort of connection issue. But yeah, on board with the 4-time world champion LCR Leopard, who is now behind Sims and Umpi. Umpi's tyres may have gone off already. I mean, he's not pulling away from Sims too much, but maybe it might be that Sims is struggling as LCR Leopard goes down the inside of Sims in the Red Bull there, and he's making the positions up. Is the 4-time LCR champion. He's now gone from 17th to 9th in the space of 3 laps. We talked about an incredible drive. This might be the drive that we were talking about at the start of the race here, Waistell, and my word, he's already pulled some incredible moves.
Taking 4 laps to get himself into the points is a statement for the hard runner of Leopard. Sims does have DRS, but he can't manage to find the space through into turn 1. But again, it's a superb overtake from Leopard diving up the inside at the end of turn 13. But going back to the exploding Emerald incident, just went off his onboard when the incident took place, waiting to see because Killer Snipes ducked it into the pits early as well. But yeah, going down the field, it's got close battles in the midfield. One of them's King Liam, who's right on the back of Jam Pancakes now.
Yeah, the McLaren Renault driver of King Liam looking to put out a statement here of intent to try and stake his claim to the LCR title so early on. But Pancakes is holding his own in the Haas car. He is obviously one of the debutants so far this season. He's done very well so far to get where he is as Leopard makes a move on Umpi on those tough tyres. Those tough tyres are probably going off for the Racing Point driver. Back up to King Liam. He's also got there's a yellow flag.
Yellow flag through Sector 1 and Sector 2.
I think
John's found himself a 3-second time penalty. Sorry about that, but we'll return to LK now.
Yeah, I believe that might have been Exploding Emerald who span it, but yeah, on board with LK now, who's on the back of Jolly, which is a fight for P2, and we've got Drax who's watching this battle right behind, but LK is going to go down the inside into turn 1, into the hairpin. Who's going to come out on top? Jolly's going to try and steer around the outside, but LK shuts the door on him, and what a move there from the Mercedes driver to get himself up to P2, but he's also got to watch out now for Jolly, who's going to be coming back right up behind him, and yeah, Jolly's a bit too far back to make the move there, but now LK's got to push as hard as he can to try and get a gap on Jolly, but because that might just happen to him next lap, as the DRS is so powerful around this track. As Jolly tries down the outside, maybe? No, he's not going to be able to. He's gone for the switchback now, and he's got a good drive out of that right-hander and into this tricky double left-hander. Has hit the back of LK, and he's sent him wide. Oh, that's a bit controversial there, as the Mercedes driver has done well to hold his car in place, but Jolly almost like he punted LK there, and I don't know what your take of that is, Waistell.
But we had an almost perfect onboard of Drolex's perspective of that. Jolly and LK is so close. Jolly's on the gearbox of LK almost through turn 10, but yeah, it was a cheeky nudge from Jolly there, and LK couldn't get it stopped. Fortunately, it hasn't done him too bad, but Jam Pancakes has got a fantastic run into the final corner. LK really on the back foot now, but again, that might be looked at by the stewards at some point.
That is true now. I know LK's got to defend from Jam Pancakes and King Liam, who have both got DRS now. It's a slipstream. He hasn't got DRS ahead. He's going to have to go instantly to the inside. The Haas car's going to try around the outside at turn 1. He's been shot a little bit there by LK's late braking, and now he's got King Liam going down around the outside, and he shoved King Liam off a little bit there, forced him out wide, and now he's got a better run through turn 4, down to turn 4 here. Is King Liam going to go down the inside? Yes, he does, but Jam Pancakes is going to hold around the outside. What a battle this is between 5th and 6th, and they're bashing wheels, and if this was real life, the cars would be utterly screwed by now. But now you can see that John is going down the inside of both of them. This allowed John, Pat 183 to go down the inside of John Pancakes. And there's a bit of contact there.
There's contact.
Sent
Oh,
John into the wall.
John's retired.
Oh, my word.
Oh,
Now that
no.
surely should bring out a safety car, but that was always going to happen. They were bashing wheels everywhere, left, right and centre, and that's put John out of the race after making an audacious move down the right-hander. That has put him out, and now he's got to sit back and realise and wonder what could have happened there.
Well, it's interesting to see. I don't think Liam or Pancake have any sort of damage, but will there be a possible safety car? The yellows have been taken off the circuit now. John did. He came crawling back without a wheel on the middle of the circuit, and that's so unfortunate for the Mercedes man. But you know, just as these were battling, Dralex has taken Jolly into turn 1 at the previous lap. But yeah, it's poor John. It really is.
King Liam might be going down the outside here into turn 1. We've seen him try it before on LK up ahead, but now he's got to try and get past King Liam. These guys have been battling for the last 2 laps, absolutely ferocious battling, and now Pancakes might go down the inside here at turn 4, and he's used DRS's advantage, and he's got past King Liam. What a move there from the Haas driver, and that's incredible car placement there to not make any contact from King Liam as well. But look behind them. LCR Leopard now in P7 is has got a pretty good view of this battle. As Jam Pancakes has got to switch back on Liam, and he's forced him a little bit out there, but it's all fair racing if you look at it really, and he's kept the position. But this is all playing into the hands of Leopard on those hard tyres. His tyres are probably coming into their own now. I mean, obviously he is on the best he's on the highest of the 3 tyres and the most durable, but now you can see he's all over the back of King Liam, and all you can do really is just watch these guys battle, because I mean, if he gets involved now, he might end up like John.
Yeah, they really are top and tail this 3 group. There goes Leopard diving down the inside of King Liam into turn 13. Fantastic move by the 4-time. Liam's going side by side down the back straight, but has to tuck in for slipstream. But yeah, this 5th, 6th and 7th splitted by nothing. King Liam's got a 5-second penalty. An exploding Emerald. Emerald's lost it in sector 1. Not sure entirely what's happened with there, but we'll quickly flick up to Johnny, who's challenging for 2nd with Dralex. Can't get a move into turn 1. He's going to tuck back into turn 2 and then up the straight on turn 3. We'll see there, that's where Emerald's lost it. He's binned it coming out of turn 3. But there goes Jolly side by side up to turn 4 and gets the move done on the Williams. Superb racecraft from Jolly there.
Yeah, he's got the move back up. Obviously, he lost his position to Dralex a few laps ago, and he's buying his time to get past the Williams driver, and he's now got ahead, and he's in P2. But it's whether he can hold it, whether Dralex can keep on the back of him. I mean, Dralex is a capable enough driver to keep on with Jolly, but we'll see. As Amaze up ahead, you can see he's got a 4-second gap to Jolly behind him. He can almost cruise at this point. I mean, he's definitely he's got ERS to his advantage as well, and also, he's got that 4-second gap, the buffer behind, so he doesn't really have to push as much. He's made the most of the other guys fighting behind him, and he's now definitely looking in like a good stead to win this race. But the battle for the podium is not lost yet, and even the battle for the lead, really, you never know what could happen. Amaze might get some sort of penalty. You know, it could be decided by penalties. I mean, it's a range of things that can happen, Waistell, and just adds to the drama.
It really does. Amazed has taken the advantage he's been given with Leopard down in 17th to start with, and he's really sort of taken it by the horns and taken it. He has the 4-second gap to Jolly now in 2nd. Leopard comes across the line and sets the fastest lap of 1:31. But Dralex and Jolly, the more these two battle, the more Amazed can pull away. And more importantly, look at that. Leopard starting 17th. We're a third of the way through the Grand Prix, and he's up to 5th.
He could genuinely get a podium here. I am very, very excited for the next 20 laps of this Grand Prix. Leopard is on fire at this point, and we said he had to put out an absolute worldie to get a result here. He's only 1.8. He's only about 4 seconds off a podium here, and I believe that Jolly has a 5-second stop-go penalty as well to serve after that. I think he extended the track by a bit too much. But Pancakes didn't really have much defence there with Leopard. I mean, he's Leopard did get past him very easily, but you never know. Pancakes has got a lot of ERS to players, so you never looking on to next lap, or lap 10, he might go for a move there. But at this point, he's fallen off Leopard a little bit. I think Leopard's hard tyres are really helping him at this point. But yeah, just looking up at the battles have kind of subsided right now. I've only got 2 within a second, but yeah, let's go back up to Dralex, who is behind Jolly. He's had this battle going on for a while now. These guys, as Jolly pulls away to the inside, trying to minimise the slipstream that the Williams does get from this, and you can see there's no real move on just there. And as Umpi comes into the pits now for his softs, he's taken those tyres a long way. I've got to commend him on how well he's managed to preserve those tyres, but now he's surely going to go onto the hard tyres till the end of the race. And for the Racing Point driver, for one Racing Point driver, it's gone horrendously. For the other one, it's looking like a potential, promising result. But yeah. Your thoughts on the first 10 laps there, Waistell? It's been a very chaotic one, I've got to say.
Certainly has. It's been a chaotic 10 laps of the inaugural round of Season 7 of LCR, and it's amazed who's clenched the opportunity at its finest. He currently leads 4.1 ahead of Jolly in the Alpha and Dralex in the Williams. LK in the Mercedes takes up 4th, with Dralex's teammate, 4-time LCR champion Leopard, in 5th. And what ground has Leopard made up in these first 10 laps? It's quite frankly frightening, the pace he has, especially on those hards now coming into their own. But we've lost 3 in the first 10 laps, Exploding Emerald, John, and KRC Janny. But I mean, it's at the current rate, I'm amazed as sort of he hasn't surprised me with his pace. In fact, he's diving it into the pits now. So is this a call for the medium runners?
Yeah, it might just be as Umpi pitting the lap before, obviously on soft tyres, but now you've got Amaze, Jolly and LK all coming in. There might have been a little bit of an unsafe release there from the Renaults who released it right out into Jolly's path, but let's see if Jolly can come out ahead of LK. He does. But now for the likes of Dralex, Pancakes and King Liam, for those guys, they've got to push as hard as they can now, because surely they're going to be coming in in the next few laps or so. Pancakes has got that DRS slipstream from Leopard ahead, and that's definitely going to help him catch us the likes of Dralex. But yeah, we'll see if Dralex can have a very good outlap here and see what he can do regards to the other drivers behind. But yeah, have you seen any interesting strategy calls here so far? Anyone on anyone gone with the 2-stop or been forced into the 2-stop?
Well, I certainly have to commend them for managing to take the softs longer than they did. Killer Snipes is actually still on those soft tyres. Done 8 laps on them. Drizzard's Revenge, Adam Lee and Boris are still just sort of pulling up the back of the field, but again it's Leopard in second now. He's got 3 seconds to his teammate in first. A Williams 1-2 is far from a surprise in LCR. Of course, they're both waiting to pit, but again, it's surprising Jam Pancakes. He's keeping it with Leopard. Liam's sort of fallen off the back of these two, but Leopard can go long on those hards, and King Liam
gets another 5-second stop-go penalty.
Gets another 5-second penalty.
And he's going to serve one right now in the pits, and this is going to hurt him really bad compared to the other drivers behind. And he's sped in the pit lane, which is allowing Sims and might even allow the likes of Killer Snipes and Umpi to get ahead, and that would be a real shame there for someone who was battling at the front. But you see now, I think LK has just got past the Season 1 champion of LCR Apex, who's doing quite well in P number 8. He's a third race. He is one of the reserves for this league, as we do have a few absences. I believe Adam Lee and Drizzard's Revenge are the other 2 reserves in play today. But King Liam gets under a 3-second time penalty to add to his woes, and it's just not going well here for the McLaren Renault driver.
Yeah, that 5-second stop has really cost him. He's fallen down to 12th, more importantly, behind Sims and VSR Umpi. And so that's going to put him out of the Pancakes Leopard duel. But if we go back to that, we look at Apex now on 11th on the hards. He's got himself into 8th, but looking at Pancakes has fallen out the 1 second barrier to Leopard. Leopard now looking comfortable, and the Leopard we know and love, he's really sort of pushing it as Pancakes dives into the pits.
And here's a 5
so
second
does Drawlex.
He gets a 5-second penalty as well. These guys clearly can't hit the pit entry very well at all. We've seen them now. That's 2 of the front runners getting needless penalties. And let's see where Drawlex comes out in retrospect to Jolly and goes ahead. Amaze goes ahead, but now you can see Jolly coming down the straight here. LK gets the fastest lap and might even go for a challenge on Jolly right here. They're going to come out ahead of Drawlex, who's he's been undercut very well there by the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes, sorry, and coming up, he almost loses the back end, but now for Drawlex, he's got to get past 2 drivers who he was originally ahead, so this overcut has not worked at all for the Williams driver. On board with King Liam as well, sorry, as he's battling now with VSR Umpy for the last point position. The Racing Point has yielded the position, and King Liam, even though he's had a bit of a tired day, he's still not giving up. He's going to try and push as fast as he can. But yeah, what do you think of the failed overcut there from Drawlex, Waistell?
I mean, track position is key, but you're able to overtake in Bahrain, so it's not the end of the world for Drawlex. But again, you really have to sort of focus when it comes to these things. You can't be affording to take penalties for speed limiting and corner cutting. That's really set him back a bit. He's going to have DRS, so he's going to be able to have a chance of taking it back. But this is sort of unnecessarily battling on his fresh hards. But we're just waiting on Leopard Pepsi. And the Season 1 champion Apex, they're all yet to stop. But right now it's getting close for 4th place between LK and Jolly.
Yeah, LK's gone down the outside there and has made a mistake on Jolly, and also Jam Pancakes has got the position on Apex there, who's on those 13-lap old hard tyres. But yeah, going back up to the battle for 4th, LK is he's defending quite well there from Jolly, but Jolly he's almost made the move stick there at turn number 4, but has now got to file back in to formation, and has probably got to wait another lap to have a go. It's quite hard to overtake in the next 1 sectors or so, but also Drawlex, he can just sit back and relax here. Obviously he's in a position to fight for the podium. Obviously they've got to watch out for Leopard, who is on those hard tyres, but yeah, Drawlex can just kind of relax now and just let these 2 battle, because obviously he doesn't have to he doesn't want to put himself in harm's way as Jolly goes down the inside there of LK, and that's so close between the guys. Very good respect not to make contact between the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo, but let's see. Coming on to this back straight, I've got to say, will Drawlex Jolly go through here, or is he going to wait for the move on to main straight? Gets a very good exit off the last corner, and now here it comes. He's going to have DRS, and surely now he's going to get the move done on LK. LK is going to try and pull to the inside to defend as best he can, but already Jolly is side by side with the Mercedes driver, and Drawlex even might go for a move around the outside, and no, Jolly's going to a little bit deep into the corner, and almost give the position back to LK, but now LK is going to have DRS and might go for a move down to turn 4. Jolly instantly goes defensive. He's trying his hardest to keep this Mercedes behind. Lovely battling between these guys, I've got to say. You know, I wasn't expecting this level of battling, even with the grid. But you can see Jolly's kept down the inside and goes side by side here into to the final turn 6, and now Drawlex is going down the outside of LK, and LK's made a decision stick, but that is all she wrote for this lap. But this is an incredible battle, I've got to say, Waistell. A humongous amount of respect as Drawlex goes a little bit wide there.
It's superb racecraft from these 3. I commend them all, really do. 4th, 5th and 6th have been locked together nearly all race long. It's Jolly who leads LK and Drawlex. But yeah, you saw out of turn 10, Drawlex just locking up that inside left and running wide. That's cost him a bit of time, but if you've got to sort of look at it like this, these 4 battling, Amazed has that comfortable gap to Jolly, but Leopard has a 12-second gap to Pepsi. If you add it all together, as Liam gets another penalty there, but if you add it all together, Leopard's going to be on quicker tyres, younger tyres, and you know he's definitely going to be in the battle for a podium here. And it's from 17th to where he'll be. We are in for a fascinating second half to this Grand Prix.
I'm going to say this now. At this point, if Leopard was to pit, I believe he might even come out ahead of Jolly. If he can just stretch that gap a little bit more, he might just be directly behind ESR and Maze, then have that 7-second gap. On fresher tyres, I'm sure LCR Leopard will be able to do that. He might even come back from 17th on the grid to win this race, ladies and gentlemen. That would be an incredible statement from the four-time LCR champion. But for now, we're going to be watching on board with the battle for fourth now, as Jam Pancakes has got caught into the back of these guys. These guys battling has allowed the Haas, the debutants, to get involved in this, and he's definitely one to look out for. Even with that 5-second penalty, if he can get past these guys, he's on two fresher tyres than LK and Jolly, and also he's on the same as Dralex. But yeah, it's going to be all about, for me, whether Leopard pits now. As Leopard, saying that, comes into the pits. Let's see where he comes out now, Waistell.
Well, we'll just quickly ride on board with Leopard as he comes into the pits. We'll flick back to LK and Jolly now. This train of four from 4th to 7th is superb racing. But the gap to Leopard and Jolly before we pit was just over 21 seconds. He leaves his pit box now. Where's Leopard going to come out in terms of this pack of four?
And he's going to come out now, almost side by side. They're going around, and he's jumped Dralex. Very well done from there, from Leopard. But now he's in this battle for 3rd and 4th, so he's in the battle for the podium. And this might just save Amazed if he could, because he's come out behind LK and Jolly. But still, he's in a battle for P2 here right now as LCR Leopard. What a recovery this is.
This is your standard LCR Leopard racecraft. He's worked that disadvantage of qualifying to his absolute best, and it's almost perfection. He's come out ahead of his teammate and right behind LK. Got those mediums, 6 laps younger than LK and Jolly. He's almost going to be unstoppable as there's yellows in Sector 2 somewhere.
As King Liam retired.
King Liam's retired.
Oh, that is drama. I think he might... Yeah, he span off, and he's now getting passed by his McLaren team of Just Revenge. But that's him out of the race, and he's gone from bad to worse for the McLaren driver. That's him out of the race completely. But now back on board for the battle for P3 here. Well, net P2. And Leopard goes down the inside of LK. He's tried the move, and he's been pushed a little bit there. But they're going side by side now. And who's going to come out on top? I think LK... He's being squeezed a little bit by Leopard. Leopard's going to have to go a little bit deep to keep the position. But there's a little bit of lag there also. But Leopard now, he's on the back of Jolly. Can he get the move done into turn 1 here? This would be incredible if he can. Jolly goes super defensive. He knows Leopard's going to try around the outside. But also, he's got a Leopard. He's going to go down the outside here. He's broken really late there, and he's allowed Jolly to regain his bearings. But also, LK and Dralex right behind. Is Jolly going to be able to defend down into turn 4 here? Or Leopard's going to go for one of his Leopard lunges? We've seen it in the past. Can he do it here? No, he's not. He's going to keep in formation. But Leopard making an incredible move on LK there. He needs to do that if he wants to catch Amaze.
This is superb. What a way to kickstart Season 7. Jolly from Leopard, from LK, from Dralex and Pancakes. There's nothing to do to split these two. As Leopard's trying around the outside at turn 9 and 10. Has to dip back in, but this is fantastic, it really is. Jolly's sort of a sitting duck with Leopard on his mediums. As there he goes, Leopard tries to chuck one up the inside into turn 11, and he gets it done. That is standard LCR Leopard stuff. He's got himself into second. More importantly, he's got those fresher tyres, those softer tyres. If he can keep this second, it's a superb drive. Apologies there, but this is fantastic for Leopard.
I'm going to completely agree with you there, but also interesting from Jolly, he's let him through there. Might be trying to get a run on LCR Leopard down to turn 1, knowing that he'd probably get passed by the Williams driver anyway. We see now he's visibly gaining on the Williams driver, but you still have the defending from LK as well, who's going down the outside. There's a little bit of lag there. I think LK might have a bit of connection issue, but yeah, Jolly is able to keep the position there, but Leopard now has 7.5 seconds to gain in 10 laps. The question is now, is he going to be able to do that on ESR Amazed?
Well, that's the thing. We've barely mentioned him all race, but he's by himself coming through sector 2. But Amazed.
VSR Umpy, sorry to interrupt you there. VSR Umpy and Sims for P7 now are battling, and the Racing Point's going to get the better drive through the corner. Has made the move stick, but also you can see TR Pepsi is going to potentially go down the inside here at the right hand. He's lunged down the inside of the Red Bull, and Sims is going to keep it round the outside. No, he's not. Pepsi gets the move, so that's Sims losing 2 positions in the space of 3 or 4 corners there. Not very good for the Red Bull driver.
Ooh, Pepsi a bit squirmish coming out of turn 10, but those fresh mediums are going to do him well. He's side by side with Sims coming into turn 11. Where, as you were saying, was a fantastic move from Umpy to take Sims, but Pepsi keeps the move ahead of Sims. Sims going to try and dive one up into turn 13. He's too far back. Superb work from Pepsi. And Umpy runs a bit wide there, but we'll flick back up to P4. LK is trying to grab Jolly for that final podium position, but again just flick back to Amaze. He hasn't put a foot wrong all race, and if he manages to defend from Leopard, then deservedly he takes the win.
Just on board with Dralex there. He's lost the back end from turn 3, and that's allowing Jam Pancakes to go down the inside into turn 4. With the direction, is he going to make the move stick? Is the pass? No, he's not. He's lost a little bit there. So Leopard gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, that could have made things even harder now for the LCR driver. He's definitely not. He's definitely not made things any difficult. I'm just going to check the penalties right now. If ESR Amazed hasn't Amazed got a single warning? No, he's not. So essentially, Leopard's got to gain 6 seconds here, and also pass ESR Amazed as Dralex leaves he's lost connection to the session. Oh my word, this could throw up a massive curveball there. As Dralex, he's fighting for that P3, and also now he's left the session. Oh my word, I don't know. I can't really believe it here.
We'll try and get Dralex back in, but all the spanners have been thrown in the works all at once for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Lap 20, 9 laps remaining. It's Jolly who keeps it from LK. Dralex is going to fall off here now. He's fallen 4 seconds behind Jam Pancakes, and so yeah, Leopard's got that penalty to contest with. He's closing that gap almost. He's closing that gap as quick as Hamilton was in the real life Hungarian Grand Prix today. It's almost a second a lap, and Amazed has 9 laps to defend that lead. But that penalties that could decide the race. It really could.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. With 7 and a bit laps to go, I definitely thought that he was definitely going to be able to catch Amazed on 4-lap old mediums. I mean, he could take those for another at least 7 laps without them falling off, to be honest. But yeah, with that penalty now, he's got to gain essentially 8 seconds, well, 5 seconds plus. Catch Amazed past him, and then he's got to gain 3 seconds. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, but it's Leopard. We never know what might happen for him. But as Dralex enters the, he's joined back, and now he's be able to rejoin. I think he's going to only be able to get P6 at this point if he's not. But he has got TR Pepsi behind him, who is on those 3-lap old medium tyres. Who is really he's underrated. It's an underrated performance really for him. In P7, he's gone from I think it was P16 now to P7, which is a great achievement for the Toro Rosso driver, the Season 2 LCR champion. But yeah, as Drax just gets back in his car, but he's got Pepsi all over the back of him, and I'm sure that's going to be a move to look out for as Drax has gone a little bit wide there, and he's allowed Pepsi to get through. Pepsi now into P6. Honestly, he might even be a contender for driver of the day.
Again, it's all happening at once now. It's settled a little at the front of the grid. P3, P4 and P5 are still locked horns, but moving down to P7, Dralex, it must have been the previous lap there was yellows through sector 2. That must have been for Sims. The gap went from 7/10 to 6 seconds, and yes, he's come in the pits. He must have wing damage, But Pepsi, Drolex and Lumpy all for P6. It's getting close for the higher points. But, you know, speaking of points, just sort of looking through the grid, Drolex has found himself in 7th. Championship-wise, the standings will be as you see them on your screens, but Constructors, I think Renault will just have the lead ahead of Williams unless Drolex can get back ahead of Pepsi. You can't take anything from this race, you really can't. It's been unpredictable as anything, but one thing you can predict, Amazed and Leopard are looking strong.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can predict that this race is going to throw up things. You know, it's going to be unpredictable. That's the only thing you can really predict in this league. I mean, after watching it for a multi-season to be able to commentate on today, it's throwing at some absolute curveballs. As speaking of curveballs, now we've got LK, who almost lost the back end, sliding his way through the last corner, but now he's going to have a run on Jolly up into turn 1 now. It's battle for P3 has been incredible, and it's going to get even more intense as we've got LK trying to keep it around the down the inside, but now Pancakes is going to have a run on LK down to turn 4 with that slitchy from Jolly. A little bit of contact there from the two drivers. I mean, I don't know if I had a little bit of desync, but Pancakes is keeping it down the inside, but they've had a little bit more contact there. These guys are just, you know, they're not given any space whatsoever, and you can see how much this podium means to them.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a 23 lap long battle for the podium positions. It's Jolly ahead of LK, ahead of Jam Pancakes. I'm not entirely sure on the penalty situation between these three. I'm only aware of Leopards, but this is going to go down to the wire in terms of who can snatch this final podium position. Jam Pancakes has 2 lap fresher hard tyres. That could come into play in the dying laps. Right now, Jolly's doing a fantastic job keeping that 3rd place from LK.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job for well, he's had to defend for essentially the whole race from LK and Pancakes and Drolex, but now Drolex out of the question. It's just a 3-way battle for this for P number 3. I think Jolly and Pancakes do have penalties, so on the penalty side of things, it might be all set and done. But for the pride of finishing 3rd on track, you can see what's going to happen here now. As Pancakes is he's closing up on LK, but also LK is closing up on Jolly up ahead. I mean, LK he's lagging a little bit on my screen. I don't know if it's on your screen, Waistell, but you know he's been all over the place. His Pancakes is going to go down the inside here into turn 2 and turn 3, and made the move on LK, and that's a very good one, I've got to say, from my perspective, and that's putting us up to P4, and now he can have a turn at trying to overtake Jolly.
Yeah, fantastic move from Jam Pancakes to take LK for P4. Although he thinks we won't have seen, there was just a slight cut of the lip in turn 2 for Pancakes to get the move done. But it looks like it was all fine and dandy. Penalty-wise, he hasn't got a warning for it, and he certainly hasn't got a penalty. So Jam Pancakes was saying up with the P4, but he's ran deep, which is going to allow LK for a run down the back straight. Is he going to try and chuck a move into turn 11? No, he is not. He's going to duck behind the Haas in P4, but Jolly's now sort of stretched that gap to Jam Pancakes to 7/10, but LK will not allow the Haas to run away with this. This battle for the podium is going to go down to the wire. And speaking of down to the wire, LCR Leopard has taken a 2nd out of his ASR Amazed's lead this lap alone. You can see him in his sights. This is going to be fantastic as he sets a 1:31.
What a lap there. I mean, he's absolutely smashed it out of the park, and you can see by his ERS users on my screen, he's down to he's got none left. He's pushing as hard as he can to try and catch Amazed here, and if he can get past Amazed, honestly, I think that'd probably be an achievement itself. But if he can get a 3-second gap on him, that'd be even better. But just looking at the penalty situation, Jolly and LK do not have a penalty, but it's only Pancakes who has that 5-second stop-go penalty, which will be added on to the end of his race time. So essentially, LK, if he wants a chance at getting this podium, has to get past Pancakes or if Pancakes gets past Jolly. As Pancakes goes down, he hits the back of Jolly there, and I don't know if he's playing wing damage. It's a very heavy hit on the Haas's front wing, and he's now allowed LK to get all over the back of these two. I don't know whether that was a Jolly braking early or Pancake's braking a bit late. But you know, on my screen that was a very heavy contact. As they're coming up to Sector 3 now, I'm just Waistell. Well, I'm going to look at the penalties to see how everyone else is doing down the field. We've got I think Pepsi has no warnings whatsoever. Umpy does not have a penalty yet, and neither does Dralex, I believe. Apex has 1 warning, and Killer Snipes has, yeah. So essentially, it's been quite a clean race apart from the top 3. As Umpy, I say that commentator's curse, gets a 3-second time penalty. Now he's got a gap to Dralex behind him, but you know, that's still not very good for him to get a penalty at this stage of the race. But it's lap race 6 now, and the question is from me to you, Waistell, do you think Leopard will get past Amaze?
Well, that's the point. The gap's now down to 1.4, and we've got about 4 to 3.5 laps left. Just talking about Jam Pancakes now. Haas haven't been the most successful of teams in LCR. They've had 59 starts and scored 216 points total. They haven't been the luckiest, as King Liam has left the session. He retired early on, but again, Jam Pancakes is looking to bring some success to the American team, and he's certainly looking strong. He's had the pace all weekend, and currently 5/10 behind that final podium position. But if we ride on board with Leopard now, the gap 1.1, 1.2, he's pumping in some fast sectors here. And all ERS, does ESR Amaze know that Leopard has a penalty? That is the question.
Yeah, that is the big one. I mean, it's Amaze going to fight this as hard as he can now. The gap is now 0.8 of a second. Leopard is in DRS range on going on to lap 27 of 29 here for LCR. Season 7, round 1. This has been a great show opener for this, this season. And now can Leopard? He's pushing so hard. You can tell by the way he's driving. I've seen Leopard before in other leagues when he's been pushing his hardest, and this is definitely one of the ones where he knows that he can get past Amaze. It's just that he needs to get that 3-second gap on the Renault driver. Otherwise, essentially for nothing. There's a gap as the battle behind P3 of Pancakes, Jolly and LK. Is you go off one.
Yeah, just to let you know, I think you're having a few mic problems there, mate. You're cutting out a bit, but you are completely right. It's hard to choose who to go on board with here. The gap between Leopard and ESR is 4/10. The gap splitting Jolly, Pancakes and LK less than a second. It's all happening in the closing stages of Bahrain. But for this race win, ESR Amazed and LCR Leopard, both race winners in LCR. ESR Amazed has his first win at Austria in Season 3. LCR Leopard just doesn't stop winning. He had his first win in Australia in Season 3, if I'm not to be mistaken. But LCR Leopard now coming up to turn 14 and the dip in turn 15. 1/10 splits them. How hard is Amazed going to try and defend this position? As Leopard pulls to the left and pulls ahead of the Renault. Amazed's valiant defence of P1. 28 laps, he's kept that lead. The 6-lap deficit and softer compound tyres just wasn't enough. And now he has to focus on keeping that 3-second gap. This is the mission Leopard has to do now. 1.5 laps to pull out 3 seconds.
It seems like a possible task. I'm just looking at Amazed. He hasn't got a single warning as well. He's definitely in the controlling seat right here. But it's just whether he can stay with Leopard for the next lap and a half. I mean, obviously he wants to win this on track, and I think he probably might try and have a go at him on track. But yeah, it's just, you can see he's visibly struggling on those tyres, and it's not looking good for the Renault driver when it comes to on track. But yeah, what a drive has been from Leopard. I mean, we've seen some incredible drives before where he's gone from outside top 10 to win, but he's essentially gone from bone dead last. Like it was 17th out of 18 people, and he's somehow won. He's going to win this on track, but just going down to You've got the battle for P3 and P3 raging on right now. Pancakes, he's closer than he's ever been before. I think he's saved a lot of ERS as well. Will he have to go down into the final corner? No, he's not. He's going to try and get the best of runs. You can see he's not got at all a good run at all there. I mean, he's on 2 lap fresher tyres, but he's definitely struggling with these means. But he's now trying to get a run on Jolly into turn 1. And he's a bit too far back, but he's so close. He can almost touch that 3rd position on track. Can he get it? And he's now going to lap 29. He has to make this move here. Surely this is his last chance for Jam Pancakes to get past. He's going to go and try on the outside, and he's always had contact with Jolly, and that's allowed him to go through. Now that is controversial, I've got to say. Pancakes gets through, touches the back of Jolly, and I think Pancakes down a bit of a catch as LK goes round as well. LK
spun under Jam Pancakes ghosting to allow Jolly back through. Oh, it's heartbreak for LK.
Oh my word! And honestly, this has been incredible so far as Killer Snipes gets past LCR Apex there for P9, P10. I think Apex is so close. This is about P10 is raging on into the last lap. My word, you're never going to stop as Apex. He's going around the outside. Can the season 1 champion do anything? No, he's not being shot out the door by Killer Snipes. But yeah, I think that is.
Yeah, we'll quickly interrupt you there as Leopard comes round the final corner. The gap's 2 seconds. It's a statement from Leopard to come back from 17th to 1st. He crosses the line to win on track. But it's not going to be victory for LCR Leopard. ESR Amaze from pole position wins it by 8/10 thanks to LCR Leopard's penalty. Hats off to ESR Amazed. He wins the first round of Season 7 LCR. If anyone's to change the game, it's ESR Amazed. Absolutely superb from him. LCR Leopard takes 2nd in the end. Superb comeback from the 4-time champion. And Jolly manages to keep 3rd from Jam Pancakes. Absolutely phenomenal race as LK trundles home in 5th after that late heartbreak. Pepsi in 6th. Superb from him from the alternate strategy on the hards. Umpy in 7th. Dralex in 8th. Killer Snipes in 9th, but LCR Apex, on his return to full time on the world tier, as a reserve, takes 2 points back to Toro Rosso. Superb from the season 1 champion. Good on him. Killer Snipes brings back 1 point for Haas, and Sims just misses out on that lucrative 1 point. He comes home 11th. Wow. Brad round the final corner is going to take 12th. Boris just behind him, won't be able to do anything. He'll take 13th. And then Adam Lee in the Renault concludes your grid. But what a fantastic way to open Season 7.
Well, I'm instantly giving my drive for the day to Leopard for that. That was incredible. I think I've watched Leopard have some incredible races, but I think that probably tops it. I'd say it's one of the best races I've watched him have, and he's almost won that from the back of the grid. I mean, that is an incredible feat. But that, to me, is just something else. That's something else, I've got to say. Amazed. He did very well. He had a great qualifying. I think in the end, he probably did deserve the win. For how he drove but shame for Leopard to not get it on track, to get on track and not get it in, getting on penalties, unfortunately. But that's podium celebrations, and we'll have the drivers in for an interview in a few minutes. But we'll just take you down the rundown for the last of the official clarification of the results. Amazed in P1 takes the opening round of the championship in Season 7. Leopard, stunning comeback drive from second to last on the grid to get P2 and win on track. Jolly in 3rd, amazing defending from him, was a podium. Jam Pancakes in 4th. LK in 5th after his heartbreaking spin on the last lap. TR Pepsi with a really well-deserved 6th from 16th on the grid. VSR Umpy in 7th. 8th is VSR Dralex, 9th is Apex, and Killer Snipes rounds out the top 10. Sims, Drizzle's Revenge, Boris Letterbox, and Adam Lee finish up the finishers. King Liam, Emerald, John and Janny are all the DNFs that follow this race. And my words, how would you rate that out of 10? Waistell? I've got to say, I'd rate that a perfect, like, I'd say it's like a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
If it was anywhere at the start of the season, I would have done it like that. That was a superb race from everybody. It really was. That will be remembered for a while. We've had some fantastic races through LCR's history, but that was certainly one for the history books. All race long we had battles and superb driving from everyone. That's got to be one of the top races I've it really is. Who will change the game for this season of Legacy Championship Racing? And we are away.
As LCR Leopard goes down the inside, he's now gone from 17th to 9th in the space of 3 laps. Oh, that's a bit controversial there. Now you can see that John is going down the inside of both of them. It's allowed John, Pat 193, to go down the inside of John Pankage.
The more these two battle, Amazed can pull away.
And Leopard goes down the inside of LK.
What a way to kickstart Season 7. Jolly from Leopard from LK, from Drolex and Pancakes.
Leopard gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, that Drolex leaves he's not connected to a session.
That could decide the race, it really could. LCR Leopard has taken a second out of VSR Amazed. It's a statement from Leopard to come back from 17th to 1st, but it's not going to be victory for LCR Leopard. ESR Amazed from pole position wins it by 8 tenths.